Yeah, you can lie about it, but it's not gonna change a thing. Maybe you'll try to hide it. Pull down the curtain where the light comes in. Baby, we walked this road so many times before, but you always stop at my door. Yeah, maybe we'll fight about it, but I won't be down about it. All I know is I've been around, I've seen it before. Baby, I know this show. I know my part, but down to the core. I don't wanna waste my time now, 'cause this is where I come in. I can tell the ending, but where it begins. I can forget about you, live out my days like it's still the same. There's still a part inside you, closing me out like I'm to blame. Yeah, we can fight about it, but I won't be down about it. All I know is I've been around, I've seen it before. Baby, I know this show. I know my part, but down to the core. I don't wanna waste my time now, 'cause this is where I come in. I can tell the ending, but where it begins. All I know is how it goes when a heart like yours beats a heart like mine. We could turn all the words to rhymes, but a love like ours will break with time. It would break the time. All I know is I've been around, I've seen it before. Baby, I know this show. I know my part, but down to the core. I don't wanna waste my time now, 'cause this is where I come in. I can tell the ending, but where it begins. All I know is I've been around, I've seen it before. Baby, I know this shows. I know my part, but down to the core. I don't wanna waste my time now, 'cause this is where I come in. I can tell the ending, but where it begins.
What is up, my beautiful people? It is Dolly and, of course, the lovely PJ back with you again tonight. Okay, now we said if we got 1,000 likes on the last video, the last show between the two channels, that we would do a stream tonight. Okay, well, we was really close. I don't think we hit the 1,000, PJ. I think we was really close, within 100, right? But since we're nice, I figured we still going to do the show anyway. And not only that, we're going to give something away tonight to one of you guys that did watch the show, right? That did like the video, and you left a comment on that video. We're giving something away tonight. Okay. What do you want to give away, PJ? We give away a candle, some soap. What do you want to do?
I actually think we're going to do a candle and a wax melt combo. That way they'll have the two and they go together.
Okay, so you wrote down a list of everybody that wrote comments, right? So look,
I did.
Give me whoever number 23 is, because 23 is my birthday, right? Whoever was number 23 on your list is our winner of the candle in the wax melt. So PJ actually took the time to write down everybody who actually wrote a comment, see, on our video. All right. So we know that you liked the video, that you most likely shared the video, and you support the channel. Okay. So who is number 23, PJ?
Rhonda Sharp 9112.
Rhonda Sharp 9112. Get a hold of PJ. Give him the email, PJ.
bestsoapinthegame@gmail.com.
Best soap in the game at gmail.com. Make sure you send her a message. Let us say, hey, I'm the person that left a comment, and we will get that. What'd you say? A candle and a wax
And a
melt?
wax melt.
Okay, so there you go. And who was it one more time?
It's on YouTube now. You don't just see their name; you see their whole @ name. So it's Rhonda Sharp 9112.
Okay, Rhonda, if you watch this or the replay of this, or you're here with us now, make sure you send a message. Now, if you don't claim it, we ain't sending it because we can't send it to nobody. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, we got a pretty cool show for you. Just some updates and things of that nature. We're going to be talking about Rex Heuermann, the Long Island serial killer. We're going to be talking about CHAD DOERMAN, the dude, that did the unthinkable, and trigger warning. He murdered his 3 sons. Wow, man, that dude is a piece of scumbag. Also, we're going to be touching a little bit on the Bryan Kohberger stuff. So if you're just tuning in, like always, let's see if we can eventually hit 1,000 likes. Okay.
We'll eventually get 1,000.
Can we get to 1,000? Can we get to the 1,000 mark? Right. So make sure if you're just tuning in, you go ahead and you like this video. I hope you guys are having a great Friday night. Okay. So far, if it ain't, it's about to get better. Okay. It's about to get better. So PJ, what do you want to jump into first? Ladies first.
We might as well start with Rex Heuermann, because that's where I started taking notes today. I kind of had it in the back of my mind that we were going to do a show, so I'm working, thinking, maybe I should just listen while I'm working so I could take some notes. And I see that there's a press conference coming up, and so I'm like, okay, I need to listen to this. So I put it on, and it was kind of surprising because typically, if it's a press conference on Rex Heuermann, you would expect to hear an update on his case and what they've got against him or what his status is. And it ended up being about his wife.
Okay, what's going on with his wife? I haven't heard about his wife yet.
Well, she's got an attorney, and then his 2 children have a separate attorney. And so they took turns speaking. First, it was the wife's attorney, and then the children's attorney took their turn. Basically, they did the exact same thing like the guy for Alexi, the pregnant girl. They declared that they're going to be suing the state because I guess she's been battling cancer, and when they came to inspect the home and gather evidence, they kind of tore everything up really badly.
Oh, Rex's house? Was he shared with his wife?
Yes.
And she's mad about the house being tore up?
Well, it's almost unlivable, like something to do with the sewage or something with the water pipes. Okay. And I believe she was the one that was somewhat of a hoarder, because they went into a little bit of detail about the stuff that was described on the list after they did the search on the house, like how they said at first that it was the soundproof room. Well, the attorney made sure to mention that was just a walk-in room that had no significance. It wasn't a vault for guns. It wasn't a soundproof room. They made that up, basically, is what the attorney was trying to say. But then there's a doll that was in a case. They made it sound like the freaking doll on
Annabelle?
what's that ghost show? Yeah. And apparently Asa is the one that collects the dolls, but she was also, I guess, the hoarder in the home. So there's clutter everywhere. They went in, they had to gather the evidence, right? So they had to kind of tear it up, but now it's unlivable to them.
Yeah. So they're suing the state because they tore the damn house up.
Yeah.
Ain't that some shit? I feel like, look, when you're done searching and digging for bodies, make sure you fill the holes in, clean the house, vacuum, make sure you walk low too. That seems a little, I don't know. That's a tricky one. I don't know what to say about that one because your husband is a serial killer, okay, and they got to look. So I don't know how to feel
and
about
they
that.
have to look thoroughly because if you're trying to conceal the fact that you're a serial killer, you're not just going to leave your knife or sheath on the nightstand.
Yeah, but what if they had him, you know what I'm saying? And then they came in the house, which a family lives in, and they just destroy the house and walk out and be like, all right, peace.
I mean, that's kind of what they did.
Yeah, that's kind of bad though. I get it. I get the point. Like, look, there's a family that lives there with kids. They need running water, sewage working. You can't
Right.
tear their shit up and then walk out and be like, oh yeah, your husband's a murderer and now you don't have no running water or plumbing. You
Right.
know what I'm
Well,
saying?
it doesn't help.
That's a little
Ultimately,
jacked up.
it doesn't help that she's been battling cancer, and the attorney made a point to state that due to him being incarcerated now, their insurance is getting ready to be up and she needs treatment to treat her cancer. So they just started to basically advertise her GoFundMe account right then and there at the press conference. I'm just like,
So there's
what
a
is
GoFundMe for the Long Island serial
yes,
killer's wife, so she
yes.
can get plumbing fixed.
And treatment for her cancer?
Oh, okay. If she got cancer, then that,
Yeah.
I don't see
I mean,
nothing
it's
wrong with her
valid.
raising
No,
money
that
for her cancer.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It was just different. I just didn't expect that to be a press conference type of setting, and then I don't know.
I
I
wouldn't say
don't.
let's start donating to serial killers' families, but I mean, if somebody's in need in your community and she has cancer, you donate to that. But people helping these killers and baby killers and different things like that, I can't really get behind that one.
Yeah.
But
Well.
seeing if she didn't know he was a killer and she's just a mother and she got kids she's taking care of and she's battling cancer, I say, yeah, help that person. That person needs a little bit of help. She's going through some shit.
Right.
Not
I
only
mean,
does she got cancer, but her husband's a damn serial killer.
right. Well, the attorney made a point to state that he was living a double life,
Uh-huh.
and she had no knowledge whatsoever of, she's not a suspect. She had no knowledge. She was just as shocked as everybody else. Her life is disrupted to a point of, no return, and therefore we need to help her. And here's her GoFundMe. And she's basically got no home, yet living in the home. And the kids are grown. The kids are, I believe the daughter is 27 and the son is 33, but I do know the son has
Oh,
special needs.
okay. All right. I wish we had the link available right here handy so I could look to see how much money they have raised for. I'd just be kind of curious myself,
I'm sure you could type it into Google and it would come right up because
Now,
it's been shared on everywhere.
if people want to donate to somebody, they need to be donating to the CHAD DOERMAN's wife. Oh man, I
Yeah.
can't even imagine what she's going through, and just funeral expenses alone, and all this. Oh my God, that poor lady. And we learned today she's filing for divorce.
Yeah.
And
That was
trigger warning people. What did she put on that divorce paper that made it so sad, PJ?
I mean, it said that she was requesting a divorce and it was at the bottom, divorce without children.
I know that is so heartbreaking. You know what I'm saying? And because there's a difference if you get a divorce and you get a divorce with kids. She
Right,
wants.
because if you have a divorce with kids, you have to be separated for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
You have to make sure you go through mediation. You have to go through all these steps in order to get a divorce. But when
She
you're
should have
just,
divorced this dude years ago, but now she knows. But
yeah, I know.
this dude, what a piece of trash. I can't wish nothing but bad things on him, and I don't see why we waste taxpayers' money and time, and especially when we're dealing with somebody like Chad. They know for 100% fact he did it. Right, these people right there should be taken out there and strapped into the electric chair instantly.
I can't comprehend. I did watch a little bit of his body cam footage today when I was sifting through all the stuff that was going on, and it's mind boggling how when the cop first walks up on him, he's just calm as can be. He's telling the dog, get in the house. And there's, his child, trigger warning, it's literally right there. And he's the one that hurt him that way. I just can't. How do you live with yourself every day?
I have no clue. I thought the same thing. I was just thinking these cops were way cooler than I would be because I'd be kicking them in the head and stuff like that. There'd be all kind of police brutality charges. But letting him sit in jail, I don't see that as justice. I mean, when people know for a fact, like when we deal with these people that go in and or like spree shooters and things like that, they should get a sped up process to the electric chair or to the whatever we do to kill people these days. Firing squad, lethal injection, whatever it may be, stone them with a rock. I don't care. But they should accelerate that process for heinous crimes. Like if you're going to give people the slow route to the death penalty, that's great. But when these people commit these heinous crimes, let's speed that process up, you know? And I ain't seen them do it much. They did it during the damn, what is it, Muhammad and Malvo, the DC snipe. That dude went to trial. He was executed in like 3 years. It was quick. It was so quick. They had him done. Virginia didn't play, right? Now Virginia's not really wanting to execute anybody, but at that
I saw Fun Size wrote that the shortest time frame of somebody being on death row was like 226 days.
226 days is the shortest time. I mean, that sounds about right to me. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be 20 years.
Yeah, no.
Now look,
at that point, why even bother? I mean,
I think of it like this: if we can get you out of here in 3 years, okay, 3 years, I think that's fine. I think that's plenty of time, right? And they did that in pretty much the Malvo case. It took them about 3 years, convict him, give him a pill, get him out of here. As soon as his pill doesn't nod, they walked his ass. He was out of there. That was Muhammad. Malvo is still alive. They overturned his
because he was younger.
He was younger. He's still in prison now. He's trying.
He
to
was 17 at the time, right?
Yeah, but he did a lot of the shootings.
Yeah, I think he might have been groomed to do the shootings, though. That's what.
Yeah, but he should have known better. You know,
I know.
He should have known better than do that stuff. He can beg for his freedom and life now, but it's too late for that. You made terrible decisions.
No, I agree.
I say you spend the rest of his life in prison. He's lucky.
The argument comes in as to where the brain is fully formed as an adult, I think, because that always comes into play whenever you're, underage.
Okay, the GoFundMe, we just found out Jennifer B put it at $46,935.
How much are they asking for, though?
Well, I mean, cancer treatment.
Because, cancer treatment
can go up in the millions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And it's next month or something that it's going to, due to him being out of employment now, of course, because he's not on the street. He's no longer going to have insurance. He was just the breadwinner of the family. So, I mean, I can imagine that they're not able to really fund for themselves now, which, I mean, is unfortunate. But
just think if you spend your whole life taking care of the kids and not getting an education and not getting a degree, and then all of a sudden your significant other he ain't dead. If he would have had life insurance, they might have had something. You know what I'm saying? But he ain't dead. He's just in prison. So now you go with nothing. And
does life insurance really fix that issue though?
We can't start awarding serial killers' wives either. But I'm thinking people are donating to this lady because she has cancer, and you know everybody knows that cancer treatment is really expensive, and it's one of those do or die kind of things. You either do it or you're gonna die. You might die either way, but it's you want to decent prolong your life a little bit, then the treatment is necessary.
I don't disagree with giving them money to help whenever situations arise that are like this. It's just we're the type of state government, whatever you want to call it, where we guilty or innocent until proven guilty, and for me, she's just so close to the incident. How do we know that she doesn't know? And that's another thing. During this press conference, the attorney was asked a couple of questions there at the end by the crowd, and they were basically all relating to the husband being in jail and his crimes. And so if the attorney's trying to say, hey, that's all, save that for trial, that's nothing to do with this right now, whatever. But there were questions like, how do we know that she's not a culprit in this case, in this crime? How do we know she's not a guilty party? They said at one point they found strands of her hair on the scene. Remember
that's just transferable DNA, that's just like
he said that said that it wasn't her actual hair, it was, he called it something. I should have written it down.
Just like right now, if I went and killed somebody, they may find my hair, they may find your hair. because
Yeah.
just us sitting on the couch together, I may lean back, your hair be on my sweater.
Oh, you've definitely got hair on you right now.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So then that hair transfers somewhere else. I'm the killer, but that hair may have fell off of me that I picked up somewhere else.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so it happens. That's probably why they found her hair, is because her hair was on him. She's not the killer. It just happened to be he had one of her hairs on him when he was messing with one of these prostitutes.
Yeah. And I mean, that makes sense. But that's all circumstantial evidence, I would say. Like, I
Who
don't.
are we talking about that has cancer? Sunflower Darkness wants to know. We are talking about Rex Heuermann's wife has a GoFundMe. She has cancer. Somebody says she's raised over 46,000 so far. He was like the breadwinner in the family, and he was also a serial killer.
And somebody above that said that how come, you know, if he was so successful, wouldn't they have some type of savings account? In today's day and age, I mean, it's hard out here for a pimp.
It's kind of hard out here for a killer. Okay. It's hard when you can't save money when you're spending it on prostitutes. Okay.
Yeah, no.
It's hard
Killing
to save.
supplies.
Yeah.
Rope. I mean,
a gummy is expensive these days. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, the moral of this story is don't pick up prostitutes. Don't spend all your money on prostitutes. And if you're a woman out there, I guess women out there, you know, you always have to prepare for the worst. You know, you never know. If you count on a man, you just never know what could happen. You know, like that man could die, that man could get fired, something could happen. You need always something to kind of fall back on.
Yeah.
In today's society, I believe.
That's what my mom always used to tell me when I was younger, is to never depend on a man.
That's what I tell Tiff.
Yeah.
Don't ever get in a situation where you got to depend on a dude. Find you somebody that's equal to you, not somebody that's going to, you know, that you need to take care of you.
But it's always important to be secure with yourself and to be able to just like take care of yourself in general, because you shouldn't depend on another human ever at all.
Yeah, I mean, I know some people do depend on their husbands, and they can. They're going to be there for them 100%.
It should be equal, though, like you said.
If that's the case, don't be a serial killer and have something to fall back on just in case something happens. You know,
right?
That would be the smart thing.
Just in case your husband ends up being a serial killer, have money under the couch, like for
real.
Yeah.
And just in case your man's going to pick up hookers on the weekend, make sure you snatch a 20 or 30 and hide it under the cushion. You know what I'm saying? So that save it up. I don't know. And at his age, it just seems like, you know, as you get older in age, it seems like you're, you know, as a man, your sex drive slows down a little bit, that you wouldn't be so, let me go get a prostitute. You know what I'm saying?
No, but he hadn't really been connected to anything since, what, 2010?
So maybe that's what it is. Maybe he was just slowing down in age, and that drive, sexual drive, slowing down. So maybe,
I don't know. We're going to find out, I guess. There's so many different victims and so many does and things are still adding up.
Feel like that. I don't think they stop. I don't think
so either. No, I don't think so either.
Once you start killing, they kill everybody at that point. It's like a killing field.
Yeah, but see, there's victims that they're trying to connect to the crimes that he's responsible for, that are like the lady that had her baby with her, the baby passed. Then there's like an Asian male that was in the vicinity that they're trying to, like, so I don't know if he had any connection to any of those, but if that's the case, then he seems like he would have been just a killer, not necessarily just looking for street workers. So,
well, I don't know. The lady with her baby was a street worker.
I know that, but I mean, it takes a lot more to kill the baby. I mean, trigger warning.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt he's a monster. Look how big he
is.
That's a big ass monster too. He's straight out of like a Friday the 13th. He could have played Jason Voorhees.
He's more scary than him. He's more taller. Is Jason Voorhees that tall?
Yeah, usually Jason Voorhees big as shit. He's 6'4". You know,
I don't know why. Jason Voorhees.
I ain't looked at the stats of Jason Voorhees, but I'm thinking 6'4", about 380 pounds. Looks like damn Kane, the Undertaker, or somebody.
Yeah.
So
he definitely looks scary.
Yeah,
I can't imagine being on Tinder and being like, yeah, swipe right,
scary,
and then you meet this guy, like, and you're like, okay, hello.
scary in size, but not scary in appearance. I think he's a
Yeah.
scary sized man because he's so large, but his appearance didn't come off as really scary. Like he don't have the Bryan Kohberger eyes. He don't have the Ted Bundy eyes. You know what I'm saying? He didn't come off quite as scary. He come off a little more to me as a little more Hannibal Lecterish. Now,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Got a really good job. He's
Yeah.
an architect, somebody really smart, and he's killing people, and he's done got away with it for years. That kind of leans more of the Hannibal Lecter type character to
Yeah,
me.
he seems kind of, he to me it looks kind of like he's dead on the inside. I don't even see person with eyes. Usually that's what stands out. And with,
Do
like
you
you
think
said, with Kohberger,
he's just a shell that was filled with evil?
yeah, that's, I mean, that's what I read people. It's really weird. I could literally just visually see somebody and then instantly be like, oh, that's a bad person. It's weird.
Yeah. I don't know. When I seen him, I was kind of surprised. He didn't look like what I was expecting. But what do you expect a serial killer to look like?
I
You
don't
know.
know.
And like I said, with society getting so crazy, you know, we're going to end up seeing younger and younger people charged with serial killer crimes.
Yeah.
And look at the girl. Just here's proof of that. Look at the girl that had the crazy kinky sex with a friend and cut his head off
Yeah.
and
She
chopped him
she
up. Right?
really, yeah, she
Look,
really went above and beyond.
look how much she was into Jeffrey Dahmer. Okay. And she's a younger girl. These kids are growing up idolizing these killers or have this crazy uh fascination
Obsessions.
with them,
Yeah.
obsession with them, and then they want to commit their crimes.
Well, do
And I
you know she actually, all of those searches that she had done around Jeffrey Dahmer were right around the time Netflix released that documentary?
okay, so you want so we blaming Netflix for that boy getting chopped up in his.
No, I didn't say that. I said that that's where her obsession came from. Is
Oh,
the
okay. So it's the Jeffrey Dahmer show on Netflix is saying it got her down that path.
I, no, clearly the girl had issues from childhood. That was documented, but I do think that the television, social media, any networking that's being done is kind of influential to society.
Yeah, I think so. If you sat around and if you didn't have a strong mind and you just watch stuff about killing people, you
Oh
might
yeah,
want to kill people. You know, so
yeah,
you start taking mental illness and you start glorifying these killers, and people with mental illness are watching it. Next thing you know, they're trying to reenact the crimes, copycat
and
killers, things of that
who
nature.
who do you know in this day and age that doesn't have some form of mental illness? I mean, it's almost like
Me,
every person.
I'm the
I'm gonna
only
go in
person
there and
I know
smack
that ain't
you.
crazy. Okay, all right,
No,
maybe
but seriously,
maybe me a
why are
little
we?
bit.
No, but I just want to know, I guess, why we're not actually working on the problem. It's like every day there's 1,500 new crimes that we're seeing on the television or on the networks. They're broadcasting it to us on, but yet we're not working on the issues at all. We're just getting worse problems. We have more mental illness.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of mental illness in this country. I think that's the number one thing they should attack is some of the crazy
Yeah.
people. If you start handling some of that and some of the hard drugs, if you can get some of these people off of them really hard zombie drugs that turn you into a monster, if you can do that and help the mental health of people, we would have a way better country, way safer country,
Yeah.
all that stuff. Um, they need to crack down on some of these really, really hard drugs that are getting pushed into this country that are killing families, destroying families. And yeah, I think that's the biggest problems.
It really is, because I mean, if you think about it, all the crimes that are committed and all the stories we cover typically have some type of mental health. I mean, if you
Or drug
look at,
related, mental health or
right,
drug related. Yeah,
they go hand in hand, because typically when somebody's into drugs, they're trying to mask an inner issue. It's not common for somebody to just decide, oh hey, one day I'm just gonna go and dabble in drugs, and then of course it's addicting. But it's most of the time it's like you want to numb something on the inside of you, whether it's you drink every day or you've got anxiety every day. I mean, I went through it. I literally had anxiety so bad I didn't want to leave the house, and then when I went out, I'd go drinking, and I'd be like, oh look, hey, I can be out with people, but I got to have a couple of drinks first, and then. But that's like masking what's actually on the inside, and so I think they go hand in hand. But I don't know why I was telling you that whole story.
Okay, well, yeah. Okay, also we got some stuff. What Bryan Kohberger, his defense team.
Oh, his defense team is just trying to just tell everybody that he was just driving around, But no, they're trying to break apart the DNA evidence and claim that it's been messed with, contaminated.
I knew that from the beginning when I said the reason I knew this is because the phone call, if y'all remember that phone call in the very beginning of this, was so strange. One roommate fainted. Okay. It was the other roommate's phone, but that roommate didn't call the police. So if one roommate's fainted, one roommate's phone and didn't call the police, that means somebody else called the police. That means somebody else was in the house. They never said who was in the house, but I'm believing it's the person across the street or something of that nature. But right then, you just contaminated the damn crime scene.
Right. Plus, not to mention, it's how long since the guy's been there or done left or like what?
It was so long that it had time for the blood to puddle into the floor, roll through the wall, seep through the baseboard, drip out the damn house. Okay, that's a pretty good long time. There's a lot of things strange in this whole thing. And look, I really do believe Bryan Kohberger is the killer because you can just look at his ass and tell, right? But you got to be able to prove it. And I hate for some crazy reason he beats this shit. I've seen crazier stuff happen, right? When the West Memphis,
I don't know why. I just have a feeling that it might be the case, just simply due to the fact that I don't know where all the blood went.
Yeah, I mean that's a hard one to explain. Like, where is?
Because you can get blood on a carpet and clean it for weeks and weeks. Every day you can clean it, and they can still get traces of blood unless you've completely ammonia bleached the hell out of it. But I mean, even then, still they can trace blood in the carpet. So.
Okay, they got no clothes with blood on it. Okay, not from him. They don't have a murder weapon. The vehicle he left in don't have blood in it. Right?
Yeah.
How do they know he's even the one that stabbed him? Well, maybe he just broke in the house.
Trigger warning. Yep.
Right? Maybe he's not the killer. Maybe two people went in that house. Maybe he just walked in around and looked around, walked out. That would explain he ain't got no blood on him. The girl didn't see him with a knife. Right? Think about that.
I'm just trying to look at some of the chat. Some of the chat is really good, but it's going by kind of fast on the TV. And it's like everybody seems to have the same kind of questions, but the lack of evidence is evidence itself. You don't know. They don't have a weapon. They do have the weapon. He bought it on Amazon, and they did.
Yeah, I didn't think they ever recovered. I thought they just had the sheath to the weapon.
No, they have the weapon. If you look on one of the papers from one of the document drops, it's literally, and nobody noticed it at first. It was so weird. It was like item number 1, knife.
Yeah, but it don't say it didn't say K-bar.
I think it did. I
don't think it did. I can't remember exactly.
Well, so, I don't know. I just think that it's weird if they have found the knife.
There's no DNA on his apartment that he went back to. So he murdered some 4 people, went back to his house and didn't get one spot of DNA in his house. He ain't got none in the car. There's not a blood trail from the house. It seems, he stabbed him? There was no blood?
It did just say knife. The chat's telling me that the description was just a knife. So I guess it's not the knife. It's confusing. So then they didn't find the K-bar. Okay. So then that would make sense as to why they wouldn't have been able to gather any kind of evidence.
Yeah,
they did find the knife.
Like a knife. They found some IDs. They found different things, but it didn't be like it didn't specify that they found the K-bar knife that they were looking for.
Yeah.
I'm not understanding. I could be wrong, but from my memory, and I probably ain't the best one with memory, but I'm pretty sure it was just labeled it was a knife, and
it was. The chat saying it was, and I mean, I think that y'all are right and I was wrong. But everybody's also saying that they do have enough evidence to go for the death penalty, which I mean, I see that, except it just doesn't make sense still, because where's the K-bar then, and where's the evidence of the blood? Like, I just,
Yeah,
like, I can't get past that.
Where's any clothes with blood on it? Okay, where's the murder weapon? Why ain't there no blood in his car? Why ain't there no transfer fibers or anything like that in his house or any things of these nature? I don't know. It just seems like there's a lack of stuff. I ain't saying he ain't the killer. I'm just saying, how did he clean up that good?
Right. At first, people were saying that he probably just had that suit on, and then he stripped and showered, and then he left. But then it was said that it was like 6 to 8 minutes or something that he was in and out. So he had time to do all that to all them people, trigger warning, and then he took a shower.
Yeah, but Bethany seen him. Dylan seen him. She didn't say he took a shower. Yeah, she seen him leaving.
Right.
Yeah. After the screams and stuff.
But then she waited 6 hours and fainted.
Yeah. That don't make any sense whatsoever. I swear it don't. But
it doesn't.
I'm thinking at some point it either has to be this scenario.
Yeah, good vibes said this trial will be a shocker. I agree.
I think Dylan was allegedly under the influence of something. Okay. And she was high. That's what I'm thinking. And she didn't know what the hell was going on. That's the only thing that makes sense in my mind, because if you wasn't on drugs and you listened and sat there and your friends got brutally murdered, I don't want to be your friend. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be your friend. I think you need to. I hope I pick better friends than that. Okay. I pray to God I pick better friends. Didn't try to call 911. Didn't come see if I was okay. Nothing.
And Deanna said in the Nicole Simpson case, there wasn't much blood found except mainly at the scene.
And a lot of people say don't talk bad about Dylan and Bethany because you're talking bad about victims, right? They're not a victim. The victims were Xana, Ethan, the girls, Maddie and Madison, right?
See, this is where I get myself into trouble, because when somebody would say something like that to me, I don't consider asking questions or being confused or wanting to know why it took them 6 hours to call 911. I don't consider that talking bad about them or bashing them.
Yeah, and they're not victims; they're witnesses.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you might be saying, hey, well, you say something bad about them, a negative that shines them a negative light, but they're not victims. So it's not painting a victim in a negative light, because the victims, rest in peace, they're in heaven right now. Yeah. The witnesses are the ones that are like, why the hell didn't you call the police people? You know?
Yeah.
And they had to live with that. And you know, if it's, you know, I don't know. But I just know I wouldn't want to have to live with that, knowing my friend was murdered next to me and I didn't do anything to try to help.
I don't. I wouldn't want to live with that. I don't wish that on anybody. I mean, that's got to be horrific, and I can't imagine how you sleep through that and not call 911.
It's nothing wrong if she comes out and says, "Yeah, man, I was just fucked up." You know, I could make that make sense. You know what I'm saying?
That would make us understand.
I did some Molly. I went to the club. I was getting juice. You know what I'm saying? Me and these strippers did some Colombian Bam Bam, something to make it make sense, right?
You and that damn Colombian Bam Bam.
I'm just saying, anything. Give some excuse to why this should make it make sense is all I'm saying.
Because right now it really doesn't.
Yeah, because a normal person not under the influence would not listen to their friend get murdered and not go check on them, help them, do nothing.
Right.
If you were sitting there tripping on some shrooms or some acid and a dragon was in the kitchen, you might look out the door and go, "Oh, hell nah," and shut the door. Right? I can make that make sense. You know what I'm saying? I can make sense of that. But when you just straight as a board, might have had a beer, and you open the door and you see a killer with a Jason Voorhees knife, and you just be like, "All right, killer, later, see you later." And then, you know, the crazy thing is she didn't even go lock the back door. Another killer could have came in and killed everybody.
You're acting like he was walking around like this.
How was he walking around? He didn't have a sheath.
He had it down at his side. He couldn't have been like this, or else, I mean, come on. He had it at his side, I'm
He's
sure.
gonna walk around stiff as a board. He done killed everybody. Of course, he's gonna have his hands up just in case he got to slice and dice. You don't slice and dice with your hand. You ever seen Jason walk around with his hands down to his side?
No, but I mean, if you're done and you're leaving, I don't know. You're probably right. I'm not a killer. I don't pretend to know these things.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't, because he didn't have a sheath. So where's he gonna put the damn knife in his pocket? A big ass K-bar knife in his pocket.
I mean, no, I'm not imagining that he's putting it in his pocket, but I mean, I don't see that he's holding it up like this. I mean, I don't know. It's possible though.
That's what I'm saying.
She didn't say that. Wasn't in the description though. When she claimed that she seen him, she seen what, eyebrows?
Yeah, I'd have been.
I would imagine that if
in his hand.
Well, right. If he had his knife up, I mean, that's probably something that she would have told somebody. I would assume,
So,
but
he had to have it in his hand. I don't know if he was holding it up, if he was pointing it at her, if but he had it. You know, it ain't there. You know what I'm saying? They didn't get stabbed with a visible knife. That had to be a real knife. I'm gonna go like up church. That knife wasn't real. Okay, that wasn't even a real knife.
I mean, we can't find it, therefore it doesn't exist.
Show me a video of that knife that exists, or a picture. Okay, show me a picture or a video of that K-bar knife that exists. I don't believe that K-bar knife even existed. Okay.
I mean, where is the knife?
I don't know.
Ikmail, so therefore it doesn't exist.
It's something to do with Ikmail and Ronnie. I'm telling you right now. Xana May is responsible.
She was.
Xana May is responsible for all of this. Okay. Whatever we talked about tonight, Xana May done it. Okay. Allegedly. Just saying.
Yeah. We're not being serious.
Okay. Okay. The knife is real. They don't have it though. Not from my understanding. They don't have the knife. I'm just kidding. Yeah. I believe the knife is real.
The knife is real. We just don't have it, and it's invisible right now.
Yeah. To her, to Dylan. It was invisible to Dylan. It wouldn't have been invisible.
It was dark. It was dark.
If the police had been like, what do he look like? I'd be like, I don't know, man, but he had a big ass knife in his hand. It was about 12 inches long. It was silver. It said K-bar. I would know exactly what that knife looked like. I can tell you that.
Well, the K-bar branding, it's just a little, like, it's a little logo. It doesn't say K-bar. I showed you the K-bar I had in my bag.
I know you're dangerous. That scares me. Why you keep walking around like
K-bar? It's like a little, that's the name of the brand of the knife.
All right, people, if I come up dead, look for the okay. All right. That's Mrs. Kohberger over there.
Whatever.
All right. So, what was we talking about? I forgot already.
The knife.
Oh, Kohberger. The knife and the Kohberger thing. And, you know, they're trying to, I told you the other day that they're trying to argue this DNA and that they can go back into the lab. And if this lab has made any mistakes, they can bring them into court. And believe it or not, these DNA labs make mistakes all the time, from what I'm hearing.
Yeah, everybody in chat saying how them bushy eyebrows gave him away and that he should shave them now that he's been outed.
Yeah, I bet you when he got
as the bushy eye serial killer.
I think I'm frozen on the screen. Am I frozen to you guys?
Yeah, you're frozen.
Frozen. All right, hold on. Let me stop my camera for a second. All right, there we go. I go to my icon. So, yeah, I mean, if I would have got to jail, I would have slowly plucked my eyebrows out. So when I showed up in front of the judge, I had real thin ass eyebrows.
That wasn't me.
Yeah, it wasn't me. I think that would have been a dead giveaway, though, if you did something like that. You know, you started plucking your eyebrows out. They'd be like, yeah, that's definitely him, man.
I mean, but he was picking out his face, so it wouldn't have been any different.
Another thing I want to ask you guys, and this is for my replay crew. Do you think they made Dylan look at Brian in a
lineup?
Yeah, in a lineup, right? Because if she was an eyewitness to it, don't you think they would put him behind a glass and let her go in there and go, yeah, that's the guy? And even just if she looked at his eyebrows or the top of his head, I wonder if she ever had a chance to like make a person, to identify him in person.
Everybody's saying yes, no, LOL.
So
I wonder if they made it when they stood him up in the lineup. I wonder if they had them ski mask on him to where you could just see like this.
Yeah, well, he didn't have a ski mask. He had a mask on, but they didn't say it was a ski mask.
From the way that I read
And
it.
a hood over his head.
Right. So it kind of made it look like that.
Clad in black.
To where she could see just like the eyebrows and the eyes.
Yeah. It was either him or Ted Bundy, right? I guess that's what I would. But I would think they would put him in a lineup and go, yeah, that's him. Because he would have to be, you know, to be identified by that person. And I know in the trial we're going to see Dylan in. I want to hear why she waited so long to call the police. That's
Sassy, don't be telling people to go check out other people, please. Oh my goodness. Everybody's saying that basically they're not. Oh my gosh. It's like people are going back and forth with it. Like some are saying yes, some are saying no. He didn't have a full face mask on. I didn't mean that he had a full face mask on. But the way that she described him is that she could just see his eyes and his bushy eyebrows. So that's where I would, as a person that works with lineups, I mean, I would think that maybe that would be how you would pick him out from where you saw him, right?
I guess. Be like, yeah, them eyebrows are the one that killed my friends. It's better than nothing. You know, she did see him in person. So I would think she would need to identify him in person.
Yeah.
Probably photo lineup, Cinnamon says. Probably so. That's probably.
I would hope so. I mean, I think that's part of the investigation, and you know, everybody should have proper investigations done. So I would hope they did that. Just
okay. So look, real quick, I'm going to throw up the StreamYard link if you want to come up and discuss the stuff that we've been talking about, the Rex Heuermann, CHAD DOERMAN, Bryan Kohberger stuff. Go ahead, take the link, come up and join us. All right, we got just a little while. We can hang out here with you. So give me a second. I will get you guys the link. We will bring you up one at a time. So if you're in the backstage and somebody's up, be patient. When that person comes down, we'll bring somebody else up. All right, this is the link to get into the room with us. And let's try to keep it somewhat on topic if we can. There you guys go. And it's good to see everybody in the chat. If you're just tuning in, we got 500 here with us now. Definitely give the video a like. All right. And like I said, if we get to 1,000, me and PJ will give something else away on the next show. Okay. Now we don't get to 1,000. We ain't giving nothing away.
I'm going to rage quit.
In the backstage, we got everybody's granddad, Mab. All right,
Paul.
What's up, Paul?
I just got done doing the dumpling scavenger hunt.
Did you win?
Nice.
I tied for first, but then we had a runoff to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with our bare hands and then take a bite of it. And I lost that by, I don't know, 15 seconds.
Well, you old. That ain't fair. You got to get around with
No.
Wow.
Okay.
That sounds intense.
Yeah, me and Mrs. Mab like to do the scavenger hunt with dumpling.
That's awesome.
Sounds like fun.
We were like, hey, Jimmy should do this.
Sounds messy.
Sounds messy.
Well, that one was messy.
Did you hear what he said? He had to make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches with his hands.
Yeah, I know. And I don't think I got no peanut butter and jelly sandwiches in this house. We usually eat out all the time. I do anyway.
So what do you want to know about the cases?
You called us.
You called us.
I didn't call. I clicked on a link.
Well, that's the same thing.
Well, the 8-hour thing with Dylan, or with Dylan, that is sus. All the kids that were there.
Put that Irish badass comment on screen real fast before it goes away. Because she followed the documents really, really, really closely. I'm sorry I just interrupted you. I just saw that out of the corner of my eye.
And you know, this Mab is like 7 and he talks like the young kids. He's like, yo, that shit, yeah, sus.
That is sus, man.
The damn internet, it's destroying our society. I swear.
See, DM stated she opened her door for the 3rd time after she heard the crying and saw a figure clad and see it went away. That's why I told you to pin it.
Yeah, so I agree with Jimmy. She must have been high as hell.
That's what I'm thinking. So, or
Why
drunk.
wouldn't she just say that though?
Because you want to tell on yourself?
I mean, you didn't kill him, so.
And the knife was probably in the coverall pocket.
How do we know he was wearing cover? If he was wearing Tyvek, what is they're made out of paper and plastic? You ain't put no knife in that pocket.
Yeah, you can.
And I used to wear them Tyvek suits all the day. You ain't sticking no Tyvek.
Well,
no cable.
Tyvek, but a coverall. A different kind of coverall, heavy duty coverall.
He would need something to get no blood on him like that. He'd have to be wearing something plastic.
Right.
I don't know. The whole case is sus.
It is. I think there's just a lot of stuff we don't know, and I mean,
I hope so.
All we can do now is speculate. Like everybody was saying earlier, they had to have enough to charge him and go for the death penalty. They had to. So either we're missing something from what we've been given, or there's more that we're not aware of. So
it's a lot more we're not aware of.
Yeah.
I hope so, because right now it's starting to sound a little sketchier and a little sketchier. At first, I thought it was a slam dunk, but I don't really think it's a slam dunk anymore. I still think he's the killer. I still think he's going to be found guilty, but I think he has a little bit of leg to fight on.
Yeah.
Totally.
You know, so they can say you done anything. They still got to prove it.
Right.
Yeah, and all they have is that trace DNA and some pings.
Yeah, and like I said, there's so many things that should be there that's not. There should be blood in his car. There should be blood at his house, and there's none of those two things. And
that we know of.
That we know of, but they would have said it.
Hey, little Johnny.
They don't have to say anything.
They don't, but they released what they took from the house. You know, they said there was a blanket with a stain on it, though. They did say that.
I can't believe they're gonna tear down that house and not wait for the trial.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
What if the jury needs to come and look at the scene, or what if the jury needs to?
I would want to be in Dylan's room and have some commotion going on and see how I could hear what was going on in that house. Because I believe she heard
everything.
Well, I think the comment I asked you to pin that Irish had said it. I think she actually either rephrased or copied and pasted from the document where it said that she heard cries.
Oh, okay.
It's way up farther. I don't think you were actually listening to me.
Crying, whimpering, bangs, dog barking.
Yeah, she went out that door 3 times. So she knew something was going on and still did nothing. I don't know, man.
Didn't call 911. That is bizarre.
I know. Super bizarre.
Just went back in the room, closed the door, you know.
3 times.
Not
just once. 3 different times she did it. And if she was so scared that she was froze, why wasn't she scared enough to call the police?
She was not froze.
That's what she said. That her statement was when she seen the man in black, she was in the doorway, froze, and he
froze for a few seconds or a minute, but after that, no.
If you were scared enough to freeze, why ain't you scared enough to call the police?
Why is she not fainting? And then she's fainting 6 hours later, or was that the other way?
I don't think that was her fainting.
Yeah.
Somebody else.
Okay.
Probably somebody from the frat.
No. One of the roommates fainted. One of the roommates fainted. The other roommate's phone was used from somebody else to call 911.
So it had to be Bethany that fainted.
It was either Bethany or Dylan that fainted.
I don't think it was Dylan. She looks pretty tough.
She wasn't so tough. She didn't come out and help her friends.
We got to be missing something. And then it's like when we get to here, we can just speculate all we want, but it's like it just don't make sense to us. Because I mean,
we'll know more about it in October or something when he starts his trial.
So everybody's looking forward to this trial because it's like we're so invested. And I want to know what the pieces to the puzzle are that are missing. There's clearly got to be pieces that are missing.
All right, man. Look, we appreciate you coming up and chopping it up with us.
And Dorman should kick the death penalty for sure.
No doubt. There ain't no doubt in that one. They should already strapped him in.
Yeah. I believe that. All right,
sure.
peace.
All right.
Bye.
All right, guys. Me and PJ have a few more minutes. I'm going to post the link again. Don't be shy. Come on up. Chop it up with us for a minute. That
I
is
was
the link
listening to
again.
that CHAD DOERMAN, and I swear he was crying so bad in the first appearance. I just can't.
Yeah, but by the second appearance, he was dried
sucked
up.
it
He
up.
wasn't
Yeah,
crying.
he sucked it up.
And he was real cold and dark and heartless. Yes. I mean, he answered all the questions. He didn't sound like he had a sad voice in his body. And I was like, oh, that's so different from what you was standing in court the other day, bawling like a little bitch.
Yeah.
So,
Iris said, how did the girls not smell the blood? But the Ellie said, that's another thing. Blood smells. Like, oh, instantly you would smell blood. It's another question.
or when they, you're dead and you used the bathroom on yourself, how did they not smell that there was, the house?
Trigger warning. Jesus Christ, this is a lot. But
yeah. Smell like bodily fluids, I don't know. I don't know how any of it would have happened without them knowing. So it's crazy.
Just like I don't see how anybody around that Alexi character that freaking killed her baby didn't know that she was pregnant. Clear as day. I think a lot of these people are just so into not wanting to know. Maybe, I don't know. It's like there's no explanation for it.
Yeah. Well, look, I know by the end of this summer, we got a lot of cases coming up, a lot of trials coming up. We'll have like the Leilani Simon one from Georgia. We'll find out what's going on with that. We got the Bryan Kohberger one coming up. We got Corey Bixby. He's coming up in October,
October, yep.
Yeah. So we got a lot of cases that people are going to be going to court.
You know what? Now that you say that, Lindsay Shiver, the lady that tried to hire a hitman to kill her husband, her case is in October.
There's a lot of them. So that's just about the time that summer's over, and YouTube starts to go crazy about that time because everybody's in the house because it's cold and everybody's. So we're going to have a lot of stuff to go over this YouTube season. That's the YouTube season to me. Is between the end of August to December. It's like YouTubers are trapped in the house. You get a lot of YouTube content. And we got a lot of trials, a lot of cases. So there's going to be a lot of true crime over the next few months, which is cool because, we like true crime. So there's going to be a lot of stuff to talk about.
Oh, Heather says Brian's could be put off until December. I hope not. I hate it when they try and just extend these out so long. I just want it to be over with. I don't know how anybody goes to trial and just wants it to just last forever. Like, we'll just extend it. But there's clearly got to be a reason for that.
Okay, so do we have any questions to leave the Turtle Gang with tonight?
You already asked one, I thought.
I did. But do we have
I don't remember what it was.
And guys, if you haven't, give this video a like, because if we hit 1,000 likes between the two channels, we're giving something away the next show.
I think, you know what? I think that would get people to do it is if you give away one item of their choice.
Okay, how about that?
Except for the mystery box.
Okay, look. So if we get to 1,000 likes on this video, all right, 1,000 likes.
And it's got to be a certain time.
Okay, by our next show. Okay.
No, because tomorrow's Saturday and then Sunday is Turtle Island, so
it'll be Monday.
No.
Right?
Should they have until Monday to do 1,000? No.
Okay,
that's a long time.
So what's the time? So if they do 1,000 likes, when is our next show?
I don't know. You'll go live tomorrow at some point. I guess by the time you go live.
But when is our next true crime show?
On Monday.
Monday. Okay, so if we get 1,000 likes on this video, we're going to give something away Monday?
Yeah.
Okay. So, guys, if you hit the like, leave a comment, and we pick from one of those comments, you could win a Dolly merch item of your choice.
24 hours.
24 hours. Okay, so if we hit 1,000 likes in 24 hours, when we come up here Monday, we will pick one person just like we did at the beginning of this show, and we will give you something cool. Okay, and we'll let you pick it. We'll let you pick what you get. Also, replay gang, don't let us down. Leave some comments, hit that like button. If you're watching out there, share the video on Facebook. Okay, that'd be awesome, right? Share our videos on Facebook. Tell some of your family, tag some of your family in the videos. Bring some new people along with you. Tell your auntie, your uncles, your cousins.
Hey, you know what? I went to get us drinks just before the show, and the cashier guy that always talks to me, he's seen your keychain, and he was like, "Oh, my wallet matches your keychain." He pulls out the wallet. It's like, Jason Voorhees, and I'm like, "Oh, well, we're about to do a live stream on that kind of. Do you like true crime?" He's like, "Heck yeah, I'll check it out."
There you go. That's a good way. That's a good way to spread the word, guys. Okay. Also, check out the merch store. If you've seen some stuff we gave away, you want to get one of the Dolly Voodoo candles, the best candles in the damn game, you can go to www.buydollysoap.com. Also, all our soap right now is 50% off with promo code DollyVision.
Oh, this smells so good. I forgot that you let me light this one. I could have had this lit this whole time.
I know. I'm actually, when we get done here wrapping up, I'm going to make some candles tonight, which are Love Spell.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I know people have been waiting for that one.
Yeah. So I'm doing some Love Spell candles tonight. I don't know if I'll be live. I'll probably be live with you guys later on Dolly Uncensored, making those candles. But hopefully I'll see some of you guys there. Dolly loves you. Peace, guys.
Bicycle.
Later, guys.